Story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and thank you for joining us on CoreTV News. Hi, I'm Frank Omalape, and here are some of the stories for filing at this time. The 36 state houses of assembly have endorsed financial autonomy for state legislature. The lawmakers also voted to separate the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and that of the Justice Minister. Chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Houses of Assembly, Samuel Ekon, disclosed this while handing over the reports of the Constitution review process to the leadership of the National Assembly. Senate President David Mark, however, dropped hint that the state legislators turned down the proposal for local government autonomy. The Independent National Electoral Commission has set up a 10-member task force to pave way for the participation of internally displaced persons in the 2015 general elections. INEC spokesman Karidido said in a statement that the team, which is headed by a National Commissioner, Thelma Iremire, needs to examine the obstacles before displaced persons in the run-up to elections. Resident electoral commissioners of Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa State are also in the tax team, which has 7 days from December 22 to turn in its reports. And now the Ekiti State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja has affirmed that Governor Ayo Fayoshi was duly elected in the June 2014 election. The panel ruled that the All Progressive Congress failed to prove its allegations of electoral fraud. It also rejected claims by the petitioner that the election was systematically and scientifically rigged through indelible photo chronicings that fade within minutes. We will bring you more details about that later. And meanwhile, Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayoshi has reacted to his victory at the Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja. Fayoshi described the victory as that of the Ekiti people while stressing that the truth has finally prevailed.
All happy. The truth has prevailed. It's just a victory for Ekiti people. In the first place, we know they don't have a case, but because Nigeria were majorly bad users, they still want to do a window shop for people that can compromise, judges that can compromise and upturn the wishes of our people. But the story today gladdens our hearts. We are happy. We thank God for the victory.
What's the message?
This victory is for the people of Ekiti. That's affirmed the supremacy that power belongs to the people.
What's the message to the Nigerian judiciary?
Well, you see, if it goes your way, whatever you say, they will say it's because it goes your way. If it doesn't go your way, they will say it's because the matter is not in your favor. So for me, as a leader in Nigeria, we should allow and respect the wishes of our people. That's what is important. My election is a watershed in Nigeria. It's historic. It's different from all elections in this country. And we should all appreciate God for what God has done. For me, I thank Ekiti people particularly, and I thank God.
The 19 APC All Progressive Congress lawmakers of the Ekiti State House of Assembly on Friday made a surprise re-entry into the state and suspended the leader of the 7 People's Democratic Party lawmakers, Dele Olugbemi, and others. The lawmakers, who were members of the PDP, are Samuel Ajibola, Israel Olowo, Alex Adeojo, Aduni Olayinka, and Ayo Kafatubi at the plenary held at a secret location in Ado-Ekiti and presided over by the embattled Speaker Adewale Omere. The APC lawmakers also nullified the legislative actions purportedly carried out by the PDP caucus. Despite the suspension of the 7 PDP members of the Ekiti State House of Assembly by the Speaker Adewale Omere, led 19 APC lawmakers in a secret location in Ado, Ekiti. PDP lawmakers, Dele Olugbemi says he remains the authentic Speaker of the State House of Assembly. Olugbemi, while reacting to the sitting of the APC lawmakers at a secret location in Ado, Ekiti, says any decision taken outside the floor of the State House of Assembly is null and void. He says the action of the APC lawmakers, which includes suspending all PDP members and reversing decisions taken, is at best laughable.
Those nonsensical pronouncement is irrelevant, is uncalled for, and is misleading, is lies, and just kind of trying to make popular where the popularity is not, and that is it.
Dele Olugbemi pointed out that the APC lawmakers cannot sit as the judge in their own case, as the matter is in court, describing the decision as one akin to resorting to see how. Away from that now, the credibility of the just concluded Kwara PDP governorship primary has suffered a setback. This follows the declaration by the chairman of the PDP in the state, Inyola Oyedepo, that the party does not have any candidate for the 2015 governorship election. This is coinciding with the hues of condemnation of the primary by the opposition. Our correspondent Rashid tells us more in this report.
The series of events that greeted the Kwara PDP governorship primary has taken its toll on the unity of the party in the state. The recent primary that produced the unexpected governorship candidate, Simeon Ajibola, has continued to attract bitter condemnations from party faithful. Among them, the chairman of the PDP in Kwara State, Yola Oyedepo, who has taken a swipe at the primary, stating irregularities and heavy inducement of delegates.
In our party, it is only the headquarters that will come out with the final list of candidates. And that is why from beginning, starting from the House of Assembly election to that of representatives and Senate, have not made any formal announcement to the people of Kwara State. Once they send people from the headquarters to come and conduct elections, the people so sent will report back to the National Secretariat. The National Working Committee of our party will sit down to ratify. It is the ratified list that I can now make public to the people. Right now, I'm waiting for ratification of the National Executive. And all the candidates are guilty of that, use of money, excessive use of money. And I believe that we should review the use of delegates for election, because delegates are not, it's obviously proved that delegates are not the best to make leaders in this country. Some of them are pathetically poor, and a sight of 200,000 naira can make them crazy. And that was what we witnessed in our primary.
Expectedly, the senator representing Kwara Central Senatorial District and a chieftain of the APC, Bukola Saraki, also takes a swipe at the conduct of the PDP governorship primaries in the state, describing it as an act falling short of a serious political party.
Party chairman is saying that he doesn't know his candidate is waiting for Abuja. It shows you the kind of party that PDP is running now. It's not a national presidential primaries, it was a state primaries that was done in the state. So there should be no ambiguity who the candidate is. But as of now, there's a lot of ambiguity or uncertainty. So I really don't know who their candidate is. And that truly reflects the kind of party that you have in PDP today. If a week after primaries, the party state chapter cannot categorically say this is the candidate, and they're saying that they're waiting on Abuja, well, it means that it's not the choice of the people. Maybe some people just lock themselves in rooms and so until the candidate emerges, whoever emerges for us, we do not believe that PDP has shown in the state here that they are ready to provide any alternative. A party that cannot organize primaries or cannot come out with a candidate, a party that is has all of rancor, disagreements and all these kind of issues, and it's not a party that will instill confidence in the people of Kwara State that shows that they are ready to govern.
Saraki added that the indecision of the PDP in Kwara is a replica of the PDP-controlled central government.
Let's look at all the candidates, assess their character, assess their capacity, assess their ability to fight the issues that are important. Insecurity, tick the box. Who do you think will fight insecurity better? President Jonathan or General Buhari? Who will fight corruption better? President Jonathan or General Buhari? Tick the answers. And I'm sure you tick the answers, you know which party to vote for. This is not about sentiment, this is about Nigeria. It's not personal. We must take these decisions because these are the things that are fighting this country. And let us not look at it from any ethnicity or any religion. We have left that. Either person that wins, you have somebody from both north and south, you have a Christian and a Muslim, so let's drop that. Who can make Nigeria work? And I think that's what is and which party is committed in doing things properly. I think that is what is before Nigerians, and I believe that when Nigerians are excited, is that when you look at General Buhari and look at Prophet Shibado, you know these are people that want to restore Nigeria. These are not individuals that are going there to make a mess, but they're going there to restore and make Nigeria better.
What remains unclear at this moment is the official position of the party on the last primary that produced Simeon Ajibola as governorship candidate. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
This is still CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with more stories after this timeout. Join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
You're watching CoreTV News on the hour, broadcasting live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. For more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also log on to our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. Our YouTube page is youtube.com/CoreTV. Give it space, the news. National leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, has berated the federal government for what he described as failure of leadership to defend the country in trying times. The APC national leader was speaking in Benin, the Edo State capital, where he inaugurated the 6-lane New Lagos Road and the General Hospital in Wohimi in Asian South-East local government area of the state. Says the high level of insecurity in the country and failure of services is because the federal government has failed to meet the aspirations of Nigerians. He says the statement credited to President Goodluck Jonathan that his administration was being sabotaged is an admission of failure by the present administration, concluding that there is no excuse for failure having been elected by Nigerians to defend the nation and ensure the welfare of its citizens. He, however, commended the Edo State governor for his giant stride in the development of the state. The military authorities say efforts are on to verify claims of Boko Haram adoption of over 100 women and girls near Chibok in Borno State. Defense headquarters disclosed in a statement posted on its website that contact has been made with credible sources in the Gomsori community in view of unidentified sources quoted in some foreign media. The military confirmed that insurgents actually attacked the community last weekend, but added that troops are conducting air and land patrols in search of the terrorists. It added that the soldiers have been mandated to sustain an aggressive patrol over the area and surrounding communities in order to ensure that the insurgents do not have freedom of action in the area. Meanwhile, Chief of Air Staff Adeshola Mosu has urged Nigerians to deploy all available resources in prosecuting the campaign against the Boko Haram insurgency in the country. Mosu was speaking at the burial ceremony for 2 airmen, Ubong Akpan and Zabis and Hosea at the military cemetery. Abuja says the military campaign against the Boko Haram insurgency demands maximum attention because it is a challenge against the nation's sovereignty. Also described the two airmen as among the best in the nation's air force, adding that they died in active service on November 13, 2013, while fighting to halt the Boko Haram advance on Yola, the Adamawa state capital. The military helicopter deployed to give air support to the men of the Nigerian army involved in the fight against the insurgents crashed at the Federal University of Technology, Yola, on November 13, 2014. Also explained that the two men died while defending the territorial integrity of Nigeria as they were sent out on the armed patrol when it became clear that Yola was under threat from the campaign of insurgents. The Minister of Defense, General Lee Huguso, said the officers must be remembered for their gallantry and heroic acts in defense of the country. While President Goodluck Jonathan has pledged to put an end to unhealthy rivalries among healthcare professionals after receiving the report of the Presidential Committee of Experts on interprofessional relationship in the public health sector. He also assured members of the committee headed by former head of service Yayale Ahmed that the federal government will take steps to ensure its implementation. The committee revealed that it identified 50 areas of conflict in the course of interactions with about 40 professional bodies in the public health sector and members of the public.
When you come to in terms of practice in the medical profession, especially government-owned medical institutions, you have conflicts. Privately owned medical institutions, you hardly have conflicts. So what is causing these conflicts? I really feel a bit bad, the number of strikes and strikes and strikes and strikes by the medical profession, threatening strikes for even issues that could be negotiated. I believe this report will help us to resolve this, and that's why we want to quickly handle it.
In carrying out our assignment, we made concerted efforts to seek an understanding of the reasons behind the failure of all categories of public health workers to manage their relationship within the last 1 decade or so, and the consequences of such failures, which had negatively impacted on the quality of healthcare delivery in our country. Furthermore, we enlisted the support of many Nigerians with experience and expertise, as well as those who played vital roles in the management of public health affairs to make contributions on how the public health sector could regain its prominent role as the fulcrum of public health care delivery.
The Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs has urged persons with disability to register with the Lagos State Resident Registration Agency. General Manager of LASODA, Tunde Aweleja, says the registration is to enable government to provide facilities that will cater for their special needs. Aweleja says the registration will also ensure that people living with physical challenges are able to enjoy the benefit of the Lagos State Special People's Law. Of that was signed into law by Governor Babatunde Fashola in 2011. And now, as part of effort aimed at opening up communities to wider development and easier access, Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed has flagged off the construction of the Elisha-Baroba-Gwanara Road. Our correspondent Rashid was there and filing this report.
Speaking at the flag-off of the road construction, Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed says his administration is committed to the upliftment of the people of Kwara, especially in the provision of infrastructure.
These flag-off ceremonies manifest our conviction that the provision of infrastructure, particularly motorable roads, is a major catalyst for socio-economic development. We've been showcasing our efforts in this regard, as witnessed recently in the flag-off of Kama Kishiro in the Kama local government area and Aroba the Medina Road in Moro local government area. This phase of the Elisha-Baroba Road spans 32.8 kilometers and will cost 1.5 billion. We intend to subsequently extend the route to Kano and Okuta.
Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed says the project will be completed on time.
I assure the people of this local government area that this road project would not be abandoned but completed on schedule, inshallah. The state government is also taking the opportunity of this dry season to grade about 500-kilometer roads throughout the state. This includes Elisha Barba, Beru Road, and Bodemore Road also in this local government. The power generator will be expected to drive small businesses and essential services, thus freeing up energy for homes and businesses in a manner that enhances the welfare of our people and stimulates job creation.
State Commissioner for Works and Transport Abubakar Amudakanike urged the people of Barutin local government to cooperate with the contractor and the government for timely completion of the road.
Of this administration to provide good and waterworthy roads for our people. The total length of this road is about 32.8 kilometers and estimated at a cost of about 1.5 billion. When completed, the road is expected to reduce the hardship presently being encountered by commuters and will promote rapidly the socio-economic development of this area. I urge all the communities along this road to cooperate with the contractor and all the people engaged in the spirit of traditional hospitality of the Barutin people.
While the provision of infrastructure is commendable, people may wonder if this is just a vote-catching project a few weeks to the start of the 2015 general elections. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Nigeria's oil workers have called off their nationwide strike after a long-drawn meeting with government officials and representatives of some oil companies. The meeting, which began on Thursday evening in Abuja, ended at about 6 a.m. on Friday with the signing of a communique on the resolution. But before the contentious issue were trashed out, leader of the government team and supervising Minister of Labour, Kabiru Turaki, urged the two unions to always put national interests above individual concerns. A correspondent by Basi Aye has more.
It was a crucial meeting aimed at finding common ground on issues that led to the reappearance of fuel queues in some major cities, including Abuja. On one side of the negotiation table are the leadership of the two oil workers' union, and the other are representatives of some oil companies, as well as government negotiators. And after hours of delay, the meeting was called to order with the head of the government team urging all parties to put national interest first during deliberations.
As leaders, that our primary responsibility is to ensure that whatever is done responsibly. We can achieve whatever we want to achieve for ourselves, our organizations, indeed our teaming followers, without necessarily overheating the polity.
A few hours into the closed-door discussions, the meeting broke off into several groups, giving the impression that there were already disagreements. They, however, later reconvened into the night, with the session winding down about 13 hours later on Friday morning. The contentious issues relate to disputes between oil workers and their employers, but the unions also listed non-passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill, bad roads, and national security among their grievances. At the end, the trade disputes were resolved in favor of the oil workers and the strike was called off.
The meeting was a fruitful one. Some of the key issues were addressed. The issue of the termination of the national officer of the Port Harcourt Zonal Council of Pengas and that had been reinstated back to job. It was a successful one. We hope that in the nearest future, the meeting we're going to call by next week will definitely address these issues that we step down on.
The unions, however, insist that the strike is only suspended and could be revived if the IOCs fail to keep their side of the bargain.
We have no doubt that definitely the IOC, Total EMP, will respect this agreement that has been reached, inclusive other sectors like Mobile will also comply to the plea that was also made to them to reinstate the zonal treasurer of Nupeng. If that fails, I think that should be a big question mark for Nigerians, workers, and also the oil and gas sector.
For now, the oil workers have called off their nationwide strike, but there are no guarantees that the last has been heard on issues that led to the industrial action. Basia Ye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Well, and that's a wrap on CoreTV News at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omanabe. Bye for now.